Welcome to Recycling 101 and putting the other R's into practice. I'm Sandy Bauman, the Sustainability Coordinator here at the UNT Health Science Center at Fort Worth. This talk is part of the Virtual Earth Day 2021 on-demand video series, which is part of our Virtual Earth Day celebration this year. You can learn more at unthsc.edu/earthday. It's hosted by HSC Sustainability, which is part of Facilities Management. I wanted to briefly mention why we have a sustainability program here at HSC. In 2010, the students voted in a fee to see more environmental and sustainability improvements on campus. Since then, we funded many initiatives and events such as the HSC Community Garden, transit passes, increased recycling opportunities, the annual Earth Day event, and more. You can learn more at unthsc.edu/sustainability. Why have a talk about recycling? You see bins everywhere, but recycling really is confusing. You may stand in front of the bin and wonder, is my plastic wrapper recyclable? Can I put this container in the bin with food on it? What about the ketchup package? What complicates things more is that items that may be recycled here on campus may not be recycled in your city or where you live. So the question of what bin do I put it in, the landfill or the trash or the recycle bin, really depends on where you are. Even more, recycling is a constantly changing market, which affects what can be recycled from year to year. So before we get into these issues, we'll start off with talking about how recycling works. Say you have a bottle of water here at lunch on campus and you think, great, this bottle can be recycled, so you put it in the commingle recycling side. We then have a custodial team here on campus who picks that up and puts it in our dumpsters. A company we partner with picks it up from the dumpsters, then takes it to a MRF, a materials recovery facility, to be sorted. Then that material gets shipped various places and sold to make new products. Recycling really is a global market, and our recycler here in Texas gets shipped all over the world. Now, there are definitely things that can go wrong with this process. For example, plastic bags can get caught in the machinery at the recycling facility. Also, food contamination is a major issue. In fact, our custodial staff has had to throw away entire bags of recycling because of food and drink contamination. Also, other contamination is a problem. This is a picture of what was found in our glove recycling. And then sometimes things don't even make it to the bin and can be found as litter in the environment. Disruptions in the global market can also cause major problems in our recycling efforts. Before 2017, the U.S. was sending over 30% of material to China. In 2017, they banned some materials to work on cleaning up their own air quality, and a lot of the materials were just too contaminated. So this really put a halt in the global recycling market and has made it difficult for us to recycle all the materials we are producing. So here are a few key points we should know about recycling. The first is that recycling is heavily dependent on global markets. There must be a market for recycling to work because materials are bought and sold on the international market. And preferably, those materials from recycling are cheaper than virgin materials. Unfortunately, if there is no market, those items will go to the landfill. After the China ban, many of our recycling went to the landfill simply because there was no other place for it. Next, contamination is severely problematic. About 15 to 25% of what Americans put in the single stream or the commingle bin shouldn't go in there, so we really need to pay attention to what goes in the bin, and when in doubt, leave it out. Next, plastic is particularly challenging. Plastic film can really clog up the machinery, and many types of plastic simply don't have a market. You may have seen the recycling sign on the back of plastics, and really that just tells us what type of material it's made of and not necessarily that it's recyclable. So we really have to pay attention to what is recyclable in our programs. Now, recycling still is a good practice, but it's important to keep in mind that it's a complicated system. But recycling can save landfill space, and we can reuse valuable materials that otherwise would have gone to the landfill. It does use less virgin materials and conserve resources such as energy and water, and it can create jobs. Next, we'll go over recycling here at HSC and tell you how you can go beyond recycling and do actions that are better and healthier for our community. We're going to start out by doing a fun activity to test your knowledge. I'm going to give you some products and you're going to tell me if they go to the landfill or the recycling. The first one is coffee cups. Do they go in the landfill or the recycling bin? Well, if you said landfill, you'd be correct. Liquid and food contaminate recycling items, so if the cup spills coffee on other items, everything has to be thrown away. Also, the cups are usually made out of a mixture of paper and plastic, and therefore most recycling centers do not accept them. The best option is to use a reusable cup wherever possible. So, true or false, I can recycle a food container with some food on it. What do you think? This answer is false. Liquid and food contaminate the recycling items and cause problems at the sorting facility. Anything with food on it or food waste itself should always be put in the landfill bin. When you're bringing your food is not possible, reduce your waste by using your own reusable cup and fork and spoon here on campus or wherever you go. This item, plastic bags, is it go to the landfill or is it recyclable? Now this one is tricky. We put landfill because we don't recycle plastic bags and film plastic on campus, but they should be recycled when possible. We encourage labs, offices, and really you personally to collect it and take it to Target, Walmart, or a local grocery store. Lots of labs on campus are doing just that. Now your best option is to use a reusable bag when possible. For packaging material, recycle it where film plastic is accepted. Next item. This plastic bottle is ready to be recycled. Is it true or false? If you said false, you'd be correct again. Liquid can contaminate the recyclable items in the bin, so empty bottles first. Now you can go further by using your own reusable water bottle here on campus. We have 40 quick fill stations all over to make it easy to do so. This is our last item, plastic cutlery. What do you think? Does it go to the landfill or recycling? Unfortunately, plastic cutlery goes to the landfill. It should be recyclable, but several factors make it hard to do so because it has inconsistent material and has odd shapes. So we recommend going further by using reusable forks and spoons on campus. You can get travel sets or really just bring one from home. This set on the right we have here at the Sustainability office you can get if you need one. Here's a summary of what we recycle in our commingle recycling program at the HSC. We take empty plastic bottles, all sorts of paper and paperboard, cardboard that has been broken down and placed beside the bins, empty and clean glass bottles, and empty and clean tin and aluminum cans. In the red box is what we don't accept and what contaminates our recycling most of all. That's plastic bags, coffee cups, paper towels and Kleenexes, and food waste. Please remember that food contaminates our recycling and to always rinse out containers first. Also, we ask that you don't wish cycle. Wish cycling is when you put something in a recycling bin hoping that it gets recycled, but you're not really sure. That can actually cause a lot of problems. So again, when in doubt, throw it out. We accept the commingle recycle bins in any of these bins you see, whether it says the commingle recycling on the right side or these blue bins you'll find in labs and offices. And on the right, you'll see our signage. We ask that you always check the signage before placing items in the recycling bin. We also have a program called Recycling 2.0. These bins accept even more items than our commingle recycling, but take special recycling efforts so they don't go in the commingle side. That's ink cartridges, cell phones, and batteries. We have 2 bins located on campus, on the second floor in the library, and in the MET by the cafe area. We do recycle many other items on campus, such as lamps, ballasts, miscellaneous electronics, eyeglasses, and even gloves. We also have special event recycling. We hope to have our e-waste recycling this fall in 2021. And we always recommend that you check with property control before buying new. A lot of times they have keyboards, monitors, even office equipment that's available for our campus to use. While recycling is good, it's not the best we can do. The best we can do is focus on the other R's, reducing and reusing. If you're watching this, you probably have some level of interest in sustainability and doing more, and you may be asking yourself, how can I get others to care? Or how do we have an impact when I'm just one person? Well, we have the power in our own space and we can start there. Others will see our impacts and perhaps inspire them. The first tip for practicing the other R's is to use reusables with a focus on reducing your single-use plastics. Plastic is a great material and has many useful properties, but we really should reduce our use of it whenever possible. It adversely affects the environment and even our own health. We go more into these details in our challenges that can be found at unthsc.edu/sustainability and click on the Outreach tab. So focus on things that you use every day. Say you take a single-use Ziploc to lunch, try replacing it with reusables. Or if you go out and use a plastic cutlery set, try to use your own. Just pack it in your bag or your car, and so it's really easy to have with you. Next, be a conscious consumer. This diagram on the right shows how something as simple as a water bottle comes to us. That material has to be extracted, refined, manufactured. It has to be transported to where we as consumers can use it, and then it can go into the landfill, go into the environment as litter, or get recycled. All of these steps and processes have environmental, health, social, and economic impacts, and we should really consider what those impacts are in all the products we use here on campus and in our personal lives. HSC's mission is to create solutions for a healthier community. How can we do that if the products we're using are causing environmental and public health harm in other places? So let's be conscious consumers. The third and final tip is to challenge yourself. So for example, set a zero waste goal for a day or a week. This just means that most of what you consume doesn't go to the landfill. You could also participate in things like Plastic Free July. They give you tips on how to reduce your plastic during the month of July. And you could do a trash audit. So say for a day or even a week, you set out all of your trash and you go through it and see where you can make improvements. So for example, if you see a lot of food waste, you could think about how better to store your food, or even use a company like Cowboy Compost, which is a local company here that picks up your food waste. Also, get a friend to join you. We all know that things are more fun if we get friends to join us. And learn about the issues. Think about what matters most to you, and then really think back to this talk and find things that align with your values. Thank you for watching Recycling 101 and practicing the other R's. To learn more about HSC sustainability, visit us at unthsc.edu/sustainability. You can also like and follow us at Sustainable UNTHSC. Together, let's work towards a healthier, more sustainable community.